Hello, I'm going to talk to you about trading Forex and in particular making money using point and figure charts. Now, my name is Neil, I'm from London in the UK and I've been a Forex trader for over 30 years. And in that time, I spent over 25 years being a market maker in investment banks. Now, a market maker is the guy who actually represents the banks and makes the prices. So you make the prices in whatever currency you're trading. Now, in the last 30 years, I was involved in nearly every major financial event, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. And I've been trading since around 1980. And never before has so much been said about Forex trading by so many experts telling us what to do. And the vast majority of this advice is absolute rubbish. And it's going to mislead you, it's going to confuse you, and it's going to lead you to making losses. So the question you're probably asking yourself, why am I so different? Well, the reason is I actually worked in the trading rooms. I've been there in trading rooms, trading, doing interbank Forex in London and in New York.
What is interbank Forex?
Interbank Forex is the wholesale market, okay, between bank to bank and institutional investors. And the market amounts in interbank Forex are very different to what retail traders trade. Every single trade between bank to bank is a multiple of 5 million or 10 million. So 5 million pounds, $5 million, or 10 million pounds, $10 million. So the amounts that go through the market are huge. Okay, and I've seen it, I've touched it, I've traded it, made money doing that. I traded at Toronto Dominion Bank in London, Mellon Bank, Bank of America, and Fuji Mizuho. When I was at Fuji Mizuho, I was chief dealer with 17 people working for me in a big desk. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what I've learned in those 30 years. I'm going to tell you all you need to know to make money. I do believe that you should have a fundamental knowledge of how financial markets work and basic macroeconomics. And as traders, you should seek that knowledge out. If you need that knowledge assistance, I can help you. But when we come to technical analysis, the only charts that I use are called point and figure charts. And if you haven't seen one before, this is a point and figure chart. And these charts are very interesting for me. The price, the X's will drive the market up, and the O's drive the market down. So X is up, O's down, X is up, O's down, and we read it accordingly. Down, 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 then up, up, then down. So O's down, X is up. Very simple for us to see, very visual.
And this is, can be used in any time frame?
That's a good question. And it's the first question that everybody asks. And a little bit later in this presentation, I explain the time frame. Okay. Now, to read point and figure, as I said, is simple. O's down, X's up. But the boxes are always multiples of 10 whole pips. And a reversal would be a 2-box reversal. So we look at the chart again, and we take this column of over, let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, over 100 pips. There was no 20 pip reversal until this point. We then have a 20 pip reversal down, so we enter an O, and then we have a 20 pip reversal back up, an X, and we carry on going up. Then down 20 pips, down another 20, reversal, down, and up. So the market is moving. We can see the actual moves clearly and precisely. And the reason I use point and figure is that point and figure will give you precise trading plans. It will give you an exact entry, it will give you a stop loss and an exact target. It's an exact and precise methodology. Every retail Forex trader that I come across in Asia, in Europe, anywhere in the world, there'll be traders who use candles. And what I'm going to do now is compare the use of candles against point and figure. So let's take a look at a nice chart. And I picked a piece of chart from mid-November last year. And we can see a lovely big candle, a nice uptrend. This is a 4-hour chart, so we're looking at 1, 2, 3, roughly 4, 5, about a week and a half, but a lovely up move in dollar yen. Now, for me, and I think for most traders, it's difficult to tell exactly when to buy. What price do you buy at? Do you have any idea? As there's no exact price signals, and we're told for confirmation of movement, we have to wait for the next candle. But let's take a look at the same piece of chart in point and figure terms. And we can see, if we take a look at the chart, we get an exact breakout buy signal. There's one, okay, this is a 20 pip chart, and we get that at 103.60, and we go up. And remember, this is 20 pips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a 200 pip move.
This is the same chart that we see before?
It is. It's the same, but in point and figure terms against the candle. So we compare the two. And what point and figure does, it tells you exactly when to buy. Here's another buy entry that gave you another 20, 40, 60, 80 pips. Another buy entry, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 140, without a correcting box. So it's telling you when to buy, exact entry points. Now, I'm the sort of person, I need to know an exact price. So it gets you in an exact price. And in trading, this is important. We're not doing something that's based on emotion. Every single trade that you do with candles is a guess. You don't know what's coming next. It's based on an emotion. Every trade I do with point and figure is an exact price-based plan, never a guess. Okay? And if we look at a real chart now, a recent chart, here's a dollar yen trade, and we can see an exact entry point, okay, on a 10 pip chart that led to a 100 pip gain. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, a small correction, another little down move, and finally over 100 pips without a buy signal. These are the sort of signals you want to receive. You want these signals early, and you can see you've got an early signal. We don't have to wait for confirmation candles because point and figures told us this thing's going down, it's time to sell. It's that simple. And if we go back to our original dollar Swiss chart, we can actually identify the moment, the single moment where we get our first buy signal. Our first buy signal appears here at this point, and it tells us, hey, the down move's over, even though it went another 20 points lower, and then we bounce off a triple bottom here, and we get another buy signal. That buy signal was worth 190 pips, that buy signal was worth 180. These are big positive signals. Look at that lovely up move without a correction. Small correction, lovely up move. And if we look carefully, we can see a little triangle formed. Okay, and at the end of that little triangle, we had a bottom, another buy signal, and then we had another 70 pips. These are huge signals, and you're seeing them every single day in point and figure. But point and figure does much more than that. Point and figure helps you trade. It helps you identify support and resistance. We can see the support here on this cable chart rather. We see some bottoms, there's another double bottom there. But look at the top. It shows you the exact area where you should be selling the pound. It tells you where, hey, the market is very heavy. And finally, we get a sell signal, which gives us another 80 pips or so. But it tells us resistance levels, it stops us from making stupid mistakes. Most retail traders look at that chart and say, hey, it's going up, it's going to break through. Point and figure traders say, hey, it's reached resistance. Maybe we should be thinking about taking profit, and eventually there's a signal to go short. it's hugely advantageous over candles. We don't wait, we see the price, we sell. Now, let's take a look. Here's a dollar yen chart, and we can see clearly the level of support here. There's the support. Even when it's sold down, the support's here, and then we have the areas of resistance. Okay. Why is support and resistance so important? Well, support and resistance is telling you to buy low, sell high. It's a fundamental economic rule of trading. It's helping you. It's telling you where you should be selling. It's telling you where you should be buying. And then you get the confirmation signals. There's your first buy signal. There's your sell signal. There's another buy signal. It's telling us everything we actually need to know to trade, make money, and be successful. What happens when support breaks? Another basic rule: when support breaks, we can see the area of support here, the buy signal, run all the way up, the resistance, the sell signal, and the break. When support breaks, it becomes resistance. And we can see when it was retested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 5 times the resistance held. So when support breaks, it becomes resistance. And of course, if that's the case, the other way around, when resistance is broken, it then becomes support. And here's the breaker resistance here, the run up in euro sterling, and there is the support. And this is a vital piece of information. This is going to help you trade. This is going to give you a whole strategy. And as you remember earlier, my friend here asked me the question, and he can repeat it if he wants: what time frame do I use? Okay. Now, the time frame I use, and if you look at this point and figure chart, and this is a real beauty. All right, this is a lovely chart. We had a sell-off, we had a base put in, and a huge rally. This is dollar yen again, UJ. And we had a number of tops, another huge sell-off. And the time frame took us from dollar yen 109 to 114 back to 110 is really, really important that you understand how I trade. If I put on the trade signals, now we see the major trade signals, and here we are. There's your sell signal. Okay, that's worth, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's worth 200 pips. There's your buy signal. There's a quick 100. Another buy signal. Another 100. Another 120 or so. Another 120. Then we had the tops in place. And here's the first sell signal to tell the buyers the game is up. It's all change. It's all change. And then we receive another sell signal and the major sell signal here, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, I don't know, about 250 pips on the downside. And quite simply, if we just followed those trade signals, we'd make somewhere between 800 and 1,000 pips. And by learning the signals, by learning the simple patterns, we can spot the tops, we can spot the bottoms. And the answer to your question, the time frame was quite simply no time frame. Okay? In point and figure, time is irrelevant. And I keep asking myself in trading, why should time matter? Well, what do we do with time? We measure time to measure price, so that you can make your pretty patterns, your candles, on the market movements. And you use those patterns to make your trading decisions, but are they really relevant? And when we look back to the last Federal Reserve meeting in, where were we, July, and it took 2.5 days to go from 111 to 112.20. And that was before the last Federal Reserve meeting. But then it took 2 hours to go from 112.20 back to 111 after the meeting. So was time relevant there? Did it matter? Well, time doesn't matter. It's not matter. Time is of no importance in trading. It's about one thing and one thing only. it's all about the price. So point and figure, we have no time frame, we don't care about time frame, all we follow is the price. I enter at 111, I want to signal at 111.10 or 20, and I want to sell at 112. That's all I care. That's my entry is a price, my exit is a price. Not 4 hours, not 2 hours, I don't care. So it's all about price.
How do we recognize the entry point and the exit point?
Well, it's in the patterns, clear patterns, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes' time, okay? The trading signals is what we need, and we need trading signals from price, not time, and point and figure will give you the exact price signal at the exactly right time. I did a live demo, a live Forex demo trade on July the 7th. It was the release of the June non-farm payroll. And I did this demo at a broker in Bangkok. And brokers always want you to do live demos because they want to see you fail, okay? And people from England, okay, have this very similar sense of humour. We like to see bad things happen to people trying hard. So we're kind of the same like that. And what it is, what I find with point and figure, is that you don't always know which way the breaks will come. And when I trade, I tend to use stop entries. So I have a market goes down, I use a sell entry, market goes up, I use a buy entry. And this is the strategy I used on UJ, dollar yen. And this is the chart as I saw it. There is a clear area of resistance here and an area of support here. So whichever way it's going to break, I should make money. And that was my strategy. And I put in a sell stop and a buy stop. And as you know, I use C Trader, and that's my C Trader there. And this is just the, you can see dollar yen and the sell stop. Now, the other trade I was looking to do was a euro dollar trade. And the trouble with euro dollar, it'd already broken higher, and I wanted to buy it. So I sat and I identified an area of support and resistance using my 8 Dragons point and figure charts. And I placed a limit order with a tight stop. And we look at the chart, we can see we've had a sell-off, the O's go down, and we've had an area of resistance that led to small sell-offs, but eventually we've made some double bottoms here. We've had a buy signal, double bottom, and another buy signal here, and we broke that area of resistance here. So what are my choices? I guess I believe it's going up at the time, so I could have bought it at the top, which would probably made people laugh when it went straight back down after the release of the figures. Or, as I did, I actually waited and I put in a buy order at 113.80. We know from our previous charts that when resistance is broken, it becomes support. This is a basic thing we have to learn, and it will really, really help with our trading. So I believed the market would fall down to here and then bounce. If it goes back through here, around here, I'd stop myself out. So quite simply, I had a buy entry, 113.80, with a 30 pip stop and a 100 pip profit in place. Now, I use C Trader, you can use MT4, you can use any platform you like. But I use point and figure software from 8 Dragons Capital. And 8 Dragons Capital software gives you fantastic price signals. And at this point, I'd like to introduce you to 8dragonscapital.com. And 8dragonscapital.com, okay, it's real-time point and figure. So it has its own price feed. As the price moves, you get your signals at the same time. There is no delay. It's simplicity itself to use. We have a very simple login page, username, password, and log in. The next step, you select your currency pair. In a drop-down box, whatever you want to trade. We've got 24 charts, and you just choose what you want to do and you hit the query button. After a few seconds loading, your chart appears. You draw your own support and resistance lines, as I do. You can see that's an area of resistance quite clearly. It's been top, time and again. You draw these lines on to assist yourself to understand the market. 8 Dragons Capital, when you use the software, it teaches you about Forex. It teaches you things that you should know. When you see the market up here, you quite simply sell high. When you see the market down here, you're buying low. And it will give you a strategy even on the breakouts. So we draw our own lines, where they use now support and resistance buttons. If the market reaches your resistance, you'll get an email, and it'll be an email alert such as this, and we can see, okay, Euro Yen, the resistance was reached at 131.20, and in this case you have the choice of taking action or doing nothing, and here I took profit and booked 48 pips. So let's take another look at some buy signals and some sell signals. Signals to buy and sell, okay? We can see we've had a sell-off, it's hit support, it's bounced, and it's actually formed a triangle here. There, can you see the triangle? And then a buy signal is when you make a new high above the previous high. So a higher X, the previous X is a buy signal, and up we go to test resistance. We can see our tops. There's a triple top, there's a double top, there's a double bottom, there's our triangle, and over here we have another double bottom and another buy signal. So we're getting clear, defined buy signals. We're getting clear, defined top patterns, and we're getting clearly defined support and resistance areas. All these things will make you a better trader.
So the entry point is when it breaks.
The entry point, if we look back here, okay, this is just an example of an entry point. After the triangle, okay, the high of the triangle was here, okay, it went, there's the low moved, the O moved down, and the entry point is, boom, there. So, if we look, the entry point, down, up, down, here's the entry point, all the way up. The resistance, puts the top in, sell off, double bottom, new entry point. Okay? So we identify the signals, we identify the place of interest, we identify the tops, and we identify the resistance and support. This will make us successful. Every day, I use my point and figure software to make money. The first thing I do in the morning is to open 8 Dragons Capital to see if there are trades to be done. And then, if there are trades to be done, I open my trading platform. If there's no trades to be done, I'll wait until there are. Now, 8 Dragons Capital is a subscription service, so it's not free, but you will make money. And the price for this software includes online support, a daily market report, and a free point and figure course on the patterns and strategies. This is for subscribers, and you'll get that course with me. It's my belief that Forex trading should be affordable, that anybody that wants to trade Forex should be able to, and the same education and have the same understanding of strategy should be all at a reasonable price. And it's for this reason that I and 8 Dragons Capital will rent the software to you for just 1,000 baht a month. And the offer is available directly with 8 Dragons Capital, and you have a number of payment options. Your payment options are an introductory offer where you get 4 months for the price of 3 months, 3,000 baht, which works out just 750 baht a month. This is very reasonable. For 6 months, you get a discount to 5,500, and for 12 months you're discounted more to 10,000 baht. Now, if you remember, we're talking about my 2 live trades in July, on July the 7th. And after 6 hours, okay, the first trade I did was dollar yen, and I bought at 113.50, and it was worth, well, just 24 points, 23, 24 points, okay? But that 23, 24 points would pay for 6 months subscription. The next trading day, which was the Monday morning, okay, it was worth 70 points, and I closed it out, and it was worth 2 year subscription. So it pays to use 8 Dragons Capital software. Very easy, very simple to use, and it will improve you as a trader. Now, what happened to my euro-dollar trade? Well, you can see I made my 100 pips. It did take 3 days, but then, to me, time doesn't matter. It's all about price. But 2 trades, just 2 simple trades, made enough profit to pay for 6 years subscription to 8 Dragons Capital. All the charts that I use in my lessons are recent, and all the charts will give you loads of trading signals every day, loads of patterns. When you trade point and figure, you unlock a long-term money-making strategy. And it's so effective, I believe if you learn it and do it properly, it's potentially life-changing. It really is. Point and figure changed my life 30 years ago when I first learnt it, and I'd love it to do the same for you. And please remember, 8 Dragons Capital are traders that design software, and this software is now ready, and I invite you to become part of the 8 Dragons team and become profitable point and figure traders. Thank you for your time.
Questions. You mentioned that in the package you will have daily email. What exactly in the email?
In the email, I give you the information, the market talk, the macroeconomic talk, political talk, plus I give you technical analysis where I see the important levels of support and resistance every day. Okay?
And I used MT4. Will that applicable to this software?
MT4, C-Trader, whatever platform you choose to use, it works.
All right.
Is there any indicator like point figure in MT4 or C?
No, no. Okay, this is a standalone platform, sorry, a standalone desktop that you can use with any system. You can even use it on your browser, in your phone or your iPad.
I see.
Okay?
So it's applicable from your mobile phone as well?
Yes, you can use your mobile phone, but through the browser.
And also desktop for sure, right?
And desktop, yes.